Imagine this. You're wandering through the streets of Jerusalem when you happen upon a palace. An angry mob has gathered outside, and people all around you are yelling. Curious, you stop to see what's going on. Suddenly, a man you recognize as the Roman governor Pilate steps outside and begins to speak. The crowd grows quiet.
"Look," he says, "I'm bringing him out, but I have no cause to charge this man with anything."
Who is he talking about, you think? What man? About that time, a couple of soldiers emerge, dragging a badly beaten man between them. He's wearing a purple robe and a crown of thorns, and in spite his condition, the soldiers are treating him roughly. You're horrified at the sight, but the crowd begins to shout, "Crucify him!" Pilate says,
"Take him and crucify him if you want, but I can't see where he's broken any laws."
Pilate tries to set the man free, but the crowd keeps shouting, "Crucify him!" Finally, Pilate hands the man over to the crowd, and the soldiers lead him away. You find yourself standing near a man wearing robes that look like that of a priest. Who is that man, you ask, and what has he done wrong?
"His name is Jesus,"
he replies, and then with a sarcastic sneer he says,
"He claims to be the Son of God."
You turn to follow the crowd, and you're not sure why, but there seems to be something about this Jesus. The dignity with which he endured his torture, the gentle but sad look in his eyes. You run ahead and see that Jesus has been forced to carry his own cross, and you want to help. You know how heavy the cross must be, especially after the beating Jesus suffered earlier. But what can I do, you think? I'm just a kid. The crowd comes to a hill outside the city called Golgotha. You've seen crosses on this hill before, so you know what's about to happen. It's too horrible to think about, much less witness, but still you stay. They nail Jesus and two other men to the crosses and stand them on top of the hill for everyone to see. Jesus is in the middle, hanging between two criminals. Pilate orders a sign to be fastened to Jesus' cross that reads, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews."
"That's not right," they say. "It should read, 'The man who claimed to be the King of the Jews.'"
Pilate responds,
"The sign stays."
You think. Pilate understands something this crowd doesn't. You turn your attention to a group of soldiers at the foot of the cross who have taken Jesus' clothes and are dividing them among themselves. You also notice some women nearby. You hear that one of them is Jesus' mother, and that is confirmed when Jesus speaks to her. "Here is your son," he says. Later, Jesus tells the soldiers he's thirsty. You watch as they dip a sponge in vinegar and lift it with a stick to his lips. Jesus drinks. And then almost immediately, he dies. You're surprised to feel the tears stinging your eyes. After all, you've never saw this man before today, but you know that something important has just occurred. Soon, two men come to take Jesus' body away. You see how lovingly they wrap the body and prepare it for burial. You watch as they leave, taking the body with them. You hear whispers that they're taking the body to a nearby garden where there's a new burial tomb. But somehow you know the story hasn't ended. You know that the death you have just witnessed somehow means life for you and many others. There's just something about this man Jesus you can't help but think as you turn and walk towards home. 1 John 1:9 says, "If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness."